Well, hello. All right. So I just got in, and I thought that I was going to do this before I left from getting in, and it was a good thing I stepped out because what I'm going to talk about in this video is going to be what I was going to talk about, but I was going to name it something else. I was going to name the process. But now I have the actual title, the label that I would apply to the process. So you see the title, it says Electromagnesis. On Facebook, I talk a lot about how, hey, whenever your children start to ask those questions, you know, the hard ones, not the where do babies come from, the harder ones. The harder ones where they get to their preteens on up and they start seeing certain things. You don't know how to answer it because you understand it's their perspective, and you as the parent want to protect them. The moment you start to really get that protector feeling in, because you're not sure what that moment, when they start asking those questions around that time, I usually say on the post, hey, you're going to want to send it to me, or they're going to find somebody like me, something like that. And the reason why I say that is because of electromagnesis. This is the name of the power, the secret that everybody keeps talking about in the world. It's called electromagnesis. That's it. It's electricity and magnetism and the interaction between the two. It just so happens that when you're alive in this body, you manipulate these things inside of yourself. And that's a really, really, well, let's suffice it to say there's very little words that you can use to describe that. How do you explain to somebody that you have the ability to manipulate electric currents and the magnetism and the force that pulls and pushes within your own body to people who look like you or don't look like you? How do you explain that? That's really awkward. That's really weird. But here I am in this video wanting to talk about it. So yeah, just like I said, it would be awkward to tell people that, hey, you can push and pull things inside of your body. And what is that supposed to mean? And how am I supposed to deal with that? If I'm talking, doesn't it get in the way of talking to people? Doesn't it get in the way of my interactions? Doesn't it get in the way of the way that I want to live, or the job that I want to choose, or the person I want to marry, or the person I want to be friends with? And I would say it doesn't get in the way. It's a result of. It's a result of. So if you've been following my content for a very long, well, if you've been following my content, you understand that I take tough topics and tough discussion points and conversation points, and I break them down in a very human way. Or if I don't break them down, I express it. That's why it's called VA Productions, right? And this is no different. Electromagnesis is the power and the secret that everybody keeps trying to find out, because they want money, they want that lover, they want that friend, they want that house. This is really it. Well, usually I want to start with everything that gets in the way. Even if the child themselves realizes it and don't really have the words. When people are older, such as adults and strangers and people who really want to do well for other people and mean well, really, when we're growing up, whenever people encounter people who want to do well, we tend to shut people down. We tend to turn people away from the things that we think are causing them stress and pain and agony. And that's not the proper response. It's not the proper response, because the reason why they're feeling the pressure, the pain, the agony is because they actually have it figured out. They know what's happening. but they don't know how to release the tension that's causing them to be in the feeling, in the emotion, or the way that they're expressing themselves. They don't know how to get themselves out of it. They don't know how to smile at the event that's going on in their life. And like I said, when we mean to do well, what we do is pull people away from this without solving the thing that even got them there. And that right there is one of the mistakes that we make as a society. Now I'm going to call it a mistake because it's a very fundamental concept. It's rudimentary. Everyone should know it because as a kid you realize it and nobody talks about it. As a kid, I saw it, and immediately right away, because I recognized how many voices didn't talk about it, from a very young age, I decided, no, I'm going to be the one to figure it out. And here I am. It's 13 years since I asked my mom about the question, in my own way, but it's been however long since I was born when I said, yeah, no, people are going to need to help articulating what the heck this is so that they can actually get on with their lives. Because look, you and me, we got places to go, people to do, lives to live, and futures to make. We do, right? So we can't sit around playing with each other, because when it comes to electromagnesis, we're going to be doing that automatically for each other. Listen, each and every one of us have things that we want. And because we want those things, we're going to have a push-pull effect against every single moment of that happening, of that obtaining the thing. And electromagnesis plays its part in helping you see exactly what keeps you from getting it so that it's easier to get it. We think that that's like reverse psychology, and it's not reverse psychology. This is the direct effect of electromagnesis in action. It's just that simple. The moment you want something, you create a tension between you and it. But the tension is there so that you can see what causes the tension, what even makes you think that you want it in the first place. Because whatever you think makes you want it is the kind of thing you probably create that makes the distance between you and the thing that you want. Because if you had it already, you wouldn't feel like you would have put that tension outside of yourself to get it, right? If you had what you wanted already, you wouldn't feel the way that you feel. But electromagnesis plays this part in making you feel the way that you would feel if you didn't have it, so that you can, because you don't, right? So when it comes to the agony and the pain and well, I could say the shame too, because it all plays its part in helping a person see why they can't have what they want. You don't figure out why you can't have what you want so that you can let it go. You figure out why you can't have it, what you want, because you are going to try again. We must always try, everyone. One of the most important things about electromagnesis is that you try. Try. You have to try. You created the circumstance, so you have to try. That's the only thing this power requires of you, that you try. That you try. Define the word try for yourself, because, define the word for yourself. That's one of the most important things about being alive too. Define words for yourself. Stop letting other people tell you what words are, because electromagnesis plays its part in keeping you from defining the words and using them the way that you want them to, and giving you all the problems in the ways that help you realize, oh man, I'm the reason why I can't define the word. Everything electromagnesis does gets in your way so that you can remove it, because you created it. You created the space to help you know how to use your power. There are people who, like our spiritual teachers and leaders, who play the part of electromagnesis in your life. They play the part of the tension to help you get out of your mess. They just ask that you pay a processing fee to do the work for you. In time past, we used to call these people witches and stuff like that. But science has evolved enough where we don't put people on a stake anymore. You got people like me who are articulating it as if as if I came out of college with a master's. What? And technically I did. I've been studying this stuff for over a decade. You'd think I have an easier time explaining this stuff as I'm presenting myself to. But anyway, electromagnesis plays its part in providing the tension you need to figuring out why you don't have something that you want, so that you can have it at will. Because it's the will that keeps you from having the things that you want. You walk around with a will that makes you feel like you can attract anything that you want in life. And whenever you feel like you see something that you don't, electromagnesis then plays its part and creates a different opening in your will that requires you to be able to know this is also in my possession. So if we simplify this, electromagnesis would not be a power we need if every single person on this planet believed in their ability to will life into existence. Now that's a really dramatic way of saying believe in yourself, guys. Just believe in yourself. Like, just believe in yourself. That's literally all I can say. There's nothing else I can say. How many movies, TV shows, comedians, actors, models, videographers, musicians, artists, scientists, how many people need to create this world for you to realize that all it takes for you to have what you want in this life is to believe in yourself? How long is it going to take you? Because if you look around, there's a whole lot more people who understand that it doesn't take long at all. To believe in something does not require time. You don't take time to believe in anything. So, with that said, if you ever come around to your children asking those hard questions about life and about how things are happening and why is this here and what they're trying to do is figure out how this power works. There are children who are born, as a side note anyway, there are children who are born knowing exactly what they're gonna do in this life. I am one of them. But they come into this world knowing, and all that is required is that you, as the parent, get out of their way. And by get out of their way, I just mean give them everything they need to fire off into the stars and to succeed and to just become exactly who they were looking for. All they need is a little guidance from you to make sure that they see what they see. That's what they trust you for. And that's why they chose you as their parent. Think of that. Think that you, as the parent, have been chosen for the child to come into this. They chose you. You didn't choose them. You chose to have a kid? No, sorry. The child wanted to be here and they thought that you were the best parent for the job. So, with that said, if your children come around to thinking about those hard questions, you probably want to send them my way. If you don't got the questions, if you don't got the answers, don't try to give it to your kid, because they're going to know. They're going to know that you don't have the answers, and they're going, it's much better. This is where they always say, it's much better to be honest with your children. And I don't know is the best answer when you don't understand how electromagnesis works. So find someone who does.